Well, good morning. Here we are again, and I'm so sorry I've been away for quite some time, absolutely flat out with work. It's November now, and things are hotting up at the Sloane Square job, which I'm going to show you a bit later on. I've been away for quite some time for a variety of different reasons, but the majority of it has been just plain busyness. Absolutely knackering work sometimes, this interior design stuff. Running in and out of people's homes. I'm across 4 properties, so that's what we're going to go and see today. One of them is just a straightforward drop-off of materials for an upholstery job, which was a new one that came in, and that's just quite a simple job really. It can take a bit of time, but it's quite nice to do the smaller jobs that involve fabrics and colour instead of just plain building work. So that was the first thing that we did. The second thing that I've been working on has been the Earl's Court job. Now, the Earl's Court job is one that you've seen before. I'll put a link up if I can, so you can see what that looked like. And that's sort of far more complicated sort of to talk about, so I'll show you that one on site. The third one has been a house move. This has been the Portland Place job and the Primrose Hill job, which I think we saw earlier on. Again, I'll put a link up so you can see what one I'm talking about there. So that's just a moving house job, but that's very complicated with furniture being sold, coming in and out, lots of logistical stuff. So that has been keeping me busy as well. That's why I've been away for so long. Anyway, that's where we are at the moment. Let's get on with the day. First stop is the Chelsea house, which should be rather interesting. Just having a look at the garden gate. Because we're all pretty much finished there. Just need to make sure that everything is a-okay. These things take a while, but they do get there in the end, and it's the end of the year, so I'm hoping against hope that I can clear everything off. Let's see what happens. Well, here we are on site at the first property of the day. Now, this is the Earl's Court job. This is one that I actually showed you quite some time ago. We're back because the client finally decided to do something, sort of an interim measure. We were supposed to be actually moving 2 flats into one, so this where we are now, it's actually one flat and there's another flat next door. We were supposed to actually be knocking them together, but they're still having a few problems with that. It's been an ongoing thing for many years. So now what they've asked to do is just to actually refurbish this flat, maybe with a view to refurbishing the next one over there, and then literally negotiate at some point in the future to actually knock these 2 flats into one as they want to do. In the meantime, this means that I, just before Christmas, have this wonderful property to sort of renovate. It's 1 bedroom, and it's quite nice in some ways. You can sort of see here, this is all the rubble, which is sort of still here. And we have obviously some nice sort of French doors to a little bit of a patio, which is quite nice. Let's see if you can sort of see what's happening out there. There's a lovely sort of cement mixer there at the moment, which is not doing too well. And obviously you can see here the tiling has been pulled up, so all of that is going to be retiled. Now, I've chosen the tiles. It's almost like cheap and cheerful, but they're actually going to look quite stylish for here. So that's going to be just a little area for someone who actually has this flat. They're going to be able to do something with that. In the meantime, all of this rubble needs to go. As you can see, there's quite a lot of it. So that will just have to be on weight and load. You know what that's like. Moving forward, then we have into the kitchen area. So this has all been hacked away, which you may well have sort of seen. So this is all sort of the brickwork back here. This is all going to be obviously replastered. There's obviously a new kitchen will be going in at some point, probably in the next month or so, once we get all this sort of cleared. But there are a few other bits and bobs that need to be done first of all. One thing which you can't quite see very well in here is the bathroom. I don't think you can actually even see that. So you can see we've hacked off. You'd actually see the brickwork underneath there, and that's the render. We actually have a leak coming from the floor above, and it's actually coming from the flat above. So you can see some joists there. The darker areas are obviously the old joists, and then obviously the new lighter wood of the new joists. And we actually have a leak coming through from that corner there, just in the middle of your screen there. So I'm actually in negotiations at the moment to talk to the flat owner above, who's hopefully going to get that sorted with our help so we can start closing up the ceilings. This bit here, this will all be sort of a shower running all the way along here. On this wall here will be a toilet and then a sink. There'll be a heated towel rail sort of sitting in this sort of area. Here the window will be remaining. It's frosted, you can't quite see at the moment. It's obviously in a pretty bad shape, but we are going to sort that out and hopefully that will be sorted out. The other thing is obviously the flooring. Now the flooring, obviously the bathroom's going to be tiled, but the flooring is going to be basically a wood flooring going all the way through. Now this is a new floor company which I'm trying out. They're almost like an engineered wood, but not quite. It's actually very thin. It's actually 9mm, so it's actually it's a very small amount of depth on it, which could be perfect for this. And it's quite cheap and cheerful for it, and it's very hard wearing. I've checked with my builders, so we're going to be putting that down. Let's have a quick look at the flooring now.
So here is the flooring on this wet and wild day here in London, all packed up. And this is where it's going to be going. So you can see all the floor is up. That's why I'm treading very carefully here. So you can see all the pipes, all the wires, everything running all the way along pretty much the entire length of this building. You can see here, this is obviously a hole that's going out to the light well, which is just behind these two doors. And that's where some rats got in. It's lovely, isn't it? And so this is what the flooring looks like at the moment. So you can see exactly it's a bit of a state. So we're treading very carefully around here. Now, of course, the other thing that's going on is the walls. So we're shoring those up. So that's the cement going on the walls, on the brickwork. And you can kind of see there's a lot of it. It's quite fluid at this point, but this is just to actually secure the walls and make them good for the render that needs to go on next.
It's actually quite light and bright here, so I'll see you into what is now the bedroom. And the bedroom is, again, as you can kind of see here, there's some new brickwork, there's some old brickwork. You can see sort of the old crumbling stuff and some of the new stuff that has been put in at some point. You can see behind me there are some doors. This is all the joinery. There's nothing really much we're going to be doing with this apart from painting it and putting on some new handles. We don't want to go too wild with it. It's obviously just got some cupboards space in there, and there's some hanging space as well in some of the others. So we'll just be leaving those and keeping those completely as they are. There's another window in here as well, which is over here. So you can sort of see that there. We'll be putting in a new blind, and obviously there'll be a new headboard up here with bedside tables. We're sort of going to furnish it as best we can. It's a bit bright here. It's all a bit frightening, isn't it? But the floors are up in here as well. So there's lots to do. The electrician's on site, the plumber's on site, pretty much everybody's on site. They're all in the next room keeping quiet whilst I film for you. But we're going to take a look at this quite closely as we go through the next few weeks, because I kind of want to get this done, if possible, before Christmas. I've got a feeling it might pop over into early January, as most things do around about this time of year. But that concludes it for the moment. Let's go and see what's happening at the next job. So here we are again, back at the Sloane Square job. Yes, I know you've all been wondering what's been happening. Lots of stuff has been happening. So I'm talking to you here live from the basement bedrooms. This is going to be for the other man of the house, the son of the house, and his bathroom has been constructed. So we see this here. This is this structure here. The doorway is going to be here, so you would walk in the bathroom from here. And in this section here, so this whole room is now going to be his new bathroom. This was the utility room. You may well remember that we swapped rooms. The bathroom was going to be over there in one of the vaults, and the utility room here, but it makes more sense to put it over there, and all will be explained in a moment. So this will now be a walk-in shower, so you'll be able to walk right in here. There'll just be a pane of glass. I often do this for a lot of my properties. There's no point putting in shower doors and all this sort of stuff. It's not quite a wet room, so there will be a tray, but it's not a normal tray. It'll be a stone tray, and I'll show you that later when that goes in. But because we have this lip, this is quite a good thing to do. It's almost like a step in the wall. And so we're going to utilise that, and we're going to utilise that in a way to actually put a ledge. So literally running along here will be a ledge, sort of around about, think of it as a rectangle box. It'll be an alcove, and that's where you'll be able to put your shampoo and shower gel and all that kind of stuff. So this will be his shower. His shower will be up here. All his bottles and things will be along here for his showering. Then he'll come out. And then over here, down below here, you can sort of see the pipes. Down here we will have a loo, and then over here will be the basin, and that will have above it, that will have a nice ledge and a mirror, and it's going to be very black and grey, quite masculine, a little bit different to what we have in the rest of the property, which I'll show you a bit later once we get all that going on. But effectively this is his new shower room, and this will also be used for guests, so we have to have something which is particularly modern and something that people would like to use rather than something too fussy and frivolous, or at least that's what the clients want. Now into the bedroom here, so you may well remember we have a closet which is going to be sort of through there, through that doorway there, and that's still going to be the closet, but over here obviously this is where the other vault was, so you can see they're actually bricking it up behind me as we speak. And that needs to happen because we're actually creating another doorway, and the other doorway is going right next door to it. So you have to sort of remember that this room, we've had to do a little on-the-hop rejigging because the two rooms are actually changing their way. So there will be another door along here coming into this room, and obviously the door here, which will be the bathroom. So this will be a self-contained unit. Once you get out of bed, which will be on this wall over here, you'll be able to get up, go into your bathroom or go into your closet, which is over here. So this is the new closet. Now this has all been waterproofed, you'll be glad to see, and this is kind of the consistency of what it looks like once they've done the waterproofing, the actual tanking. So you can kind of see it's very sort of almost rough and ready. It's drying out at the moment. You have to give it quite a long time to dry out, so there's lots of condensation happening, but this is kind of how it is. This is kind of what you have to do. So this is going to be painted at some point, but it's not going to be painted yet. And until it all sort of dries out, it's getting there. It's actually looking a lot better than it was a couple of days ago. So that's what's happening with that. Moving into this vault, you can sort of see here, that's the wall that we've just seen being done on the other side. That's where the new doorway will be coming in, and this will now be the new utility room. And the utility room is going to have the washing machine, the dryer, a sink, all sorts of other different things in it. And because the ceiling, as you can see here, is quite low and actually progresses, it literally goes down, it's on a slope. The further you go in, the washing machine and the dryer are going to be down here. So you can sort of see we've put a pipe in ready for the plumbing to run along, and that will go, that will be there for the washer and dryer. The lighting in here is a bit frightening for you all. So there will be a sink, so we're putting literally everything around here. So think of it as being, once you have your washer and dryer, everything will be sweeping around here. There will be a sink here, and we're going to have a couple of radiators, a couple of heated towel rails in here, so that the lady of the house can actually hang her washing up or leave a jacket to dry, all that type of thing. So if you want to hang things up, you need to have somewhere to hang things in a utility room. So that's what's happening in here. You can see the condensation, this is drying out. So this, let me see if I can show you. You can actually see the droplets of water here. So this is going to take quite some time to dry out. It's a good enough month, which is fine because we've got to the end of January and we're only sort of mid-November at the moment. So this is probably going to be one of the last things to be painted. You may remember the vault. Remember the random vault that we found? Well, this is it in here. And you can kind of see the pipes above, which are sort of sitting there. These are going to have to stay, unfortunately, and they're staying for a very good reason, because there's very little point in us taking them out. Behind me here is obviously where there was an odd staircase going up, and we had a conversation with the clients about what they wanted to do about this. And the idea generally was that I think they decided that they were just going to leave them here. There's no point in doing anything else with them. So they are being left pretty much as they are. We will tidy them up, and this room will be a nice little storeroom once we get it all sorted, but it's not going to be pretty. The plumber still needs to do his job in here, but that's what's happening. So it'll be a whole different thing that we've got going on, but so far, so good.
So this is the wall after it's been done. I thought I'd show you these. So once the brickwork is done, this is just the crude bit before we put on the other render and obviously the waterproofing. And you can see there the walls that were finished there, the one that's dividing. And also this is the new opening. So you've got the concrete lintel, it's just been rudely put together. So there's a lot more work to be done. But obviously now both of those bits have been done, both the closing up and the new doorway.
So moving further down here, so now this is probably one of the most exciting parts that's just gone in literally in the last 48 hours, which is the staircase. So you've missed the other bit of the staircase where we had a temporary staircase up. So this is now the underside of the new staircase, but obviously it's not finished yet, it's not clad, that you can kind of see exactly what it's like. So underneath we have a kind of a fair bit of space. So this is probably going to turn into a coat cupboard. It's not been designed yet. The clients need to really see, they're very visual people, so they need to see exactly what they've got and what they haven't got, and what they would like and what they wouldn't like. And we've got a bit of time on that, so they will probably do this afterwards, but obviously it's an extra thing to add on. The stairs themselves are here. So this, we're actually in the basement area at the moment. So this is the stairs behind. So these are the stairs that will come out into the new kitchen area, which is obviously still very much looking like a building site at the moment, as they're concentrating on the top of the house. So the staircase has gone in, so you can kind of see what it is. It's not clad in anything. It will actually be clad in the actual wood that's going on the floor, so it will all look very, very seamless. So they'll just sort of clad it round, and you'll see that being done. But that's one of the last things to do, because we don't want any of the staircase mucked up by the workmen whilst all this is going on. But it's looking really, really good in here, and I'm going to go up the stairs. There'll be, you might be wondering what we're going to do for a banister. We're actually going to have some glass, some toughened glass, and that's actually going to run, basically, let me show you here. It's actually going to be running along up here. We may well dig it into this, we may dig it on the side. The clients really need to see it to sort of decide what they want. We know it's going to be glass, we know it's going to be toughened glass, and it's going to be a banister going all the way up. There won't be a post, but it will be going all the way up here. 2 panels, and then we'll basically end here. So you will have basically a wall on one side, which is this behind me, and then you'll have a pane of glass, and then it will stop right back there. It'll give you a nice big space to actually come up to, but it will be actually very sort of free and easy, because the glass, you won't have any posts, you won't have any spindles. It'll be very modern and clean. Another great thing has been the skylight. So the skylight is actually in, so you would have seen all of the stuff that was happening actually above, but now we actually have the glass in it, and it is pretty spectacular, as you can see there. So it's been raining today, so you've got lots of rain on it. So obviously it isn't finished yet. The glass is in, the pane of glass is in, but there is some pretty spectacular sights. I'm going to see if I can show you from here, because we've actually got, whether you can see, once you look through the glass, we actually have a church steeple to look at, which is actually opposite the house. So it's a really wondrous thing. When the sun was shining, when it first went in, it looked spectacular. So obviously it's a bit grey today, so you can't quite see it. But so this is good. You can see how light it is in here. This without the paint on the walls. This is with dirty windows. There is still, and it's been raining. It's an incredible amount of light which is coming in here. It's going to look pretty spectacular, and I'm so glad they did it, because the clients were umming and ahhing whether they actually wanted to do it at all. The wiring has also gone into the property, so we see quite a lot of different stuff. You can see all sort of the wiring here sitting on this side. We've had lots of different discussions about what to do, where all the different light sockets are going to go, as you can probably imagine. It's all been worked out on my plan. There's just been a few minor changes. There usually is, you can't worry about that. So all is looking good so far. We have obviously other walls and other different things going on in place that you can kind of sort of see behind me. So we're sort of, this is the god that is Jack. He's still at it. So he's obviously just filling in that wall there, which is going to go behind. Remember, this is the wall which is leading to the upper floor. So that has to be encased for fire protection. So that's what they're doing there, just keeping all that out of the way. Let's go and see what's happening upstairs. just having a look at the walls here, which is a very good thing to do. You can see where the intercom is going to go here. You can see where the wires have been put in. And we're just checking, getting through wires. You can see where they've gone. They're looking at joists here. They're just sort of seeing, this is obviously insulation, the wall, that's what that yellow stuff is. And they're seeing exactly what else they're doing in here. You may well have seen most of this. The bathrooms have now been signed off and cleared off. So this is the wall partition that we have. And here we are going to be doing some double doors, some double sliding doors. We're calling them the Japanese doors because we may well put some sort of almost paper effect on the doors on one side. So almost like a panel, so not quite Shaker style, but something like that if to look at, but it might be sort of almost a different type of joinery effect here. And then you would sweep into your bathroom. So this would be the size of the master bath, all looking good here. Double sink down below. Then we'll have the loo over here. Again, this is there's going to be a panel, a glass panel here, which is going to be acting like a shower tray, and this will be a walk-in shower here with everything you could possibly want. We've had lots of discussions about tiles. One of the biggest conversations that you will ever have with clients is about tiles, and they always break the budget. No matter what happens, they always break the budget because people want things to look nice, and there's always arguments. So don't worry about that, it's perfectly normal. Moving up to the second floor, there's a few things that have been going on up here. They're actually dealing with the loft hatch and the roof space. This is one of the bedrooms. This is pretty much done mostly. Obviously got things for wall lights, sockets, switches on the walls. We've been doing a little bit of scaffolding as well. As you can see here, we've had to do things with the drain, so the scaffolding is still up. It costs, but it's a necessary evil when you're doing drains and drain pipes on the outside of a house. We have lights ready to be wired in. And then we have, this is the new loft hatch, which is a little bit bigger than the last one. It can't be too huge. Let me just show you that. So there is the new loft hatch that we've done, which is now going to be out here rather than in the bathroom. The bathroom is in there, plunged into darkness at the moment. The electrics are all done, and this is the other bedroom, which has also been done and is pretty much ready for the plastering and everything else that needs to be done up here. So far so good at this stage of play. So that's it from the house today. Hope you've enjoyed your little view around to see what else has been going on. It's still messy and dirty work, but until all the other different things go in, there's obviously not that much to show you. It's pretty much more of the same, but it's keeping me busy running around, as you can probably imagine. I will keep you informed of the next lot that's going on. I suspect it will be in a couple of weeks' time when things move on here quite a bit. But of course we're now into the Christmas rush. We love it. Hope you're doing well, and I'll see you soon. Happy designing.